$300 billion. This is shocking, but at the same time, not too surprising. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, a new report was just released out of the Federal Reserve, and it directly relates to $300 billion and the low income. Like I said just a second ago, honestly, this is a shocking report, but at the same time, it's not all that surprising considering what is currently going on right now and what's been going on over the last couple years, and once again, underlines the idea of getting more money into the pockets of the low income and fixed income beneficiaries and why this is so incredibly important. Let's get into it and talk about this report. I hope you're sitting down because these are some big numbers that we're talking about right here, but I want to share this with you because we need to understand what is actually going on, and this is a record report. So let's get into it and talk about it. So here's what they found. This new report that was just released by the Federal Reserve is showing that this year, low income consumers, as in 90% of the population in the United States, has added an additional $300 billion of consumer debt just this year alone. And when I say consumer debt, I'm talking about credit card debt, auto loans, student loans, things like this. This is what they determine as consumer debt. $300 billion has been added just this year for the bottom 90% of the population in the United States, which, by the way, that encompasses 118 million households in the United States. Here's the problem. Over the last 17 consecutive months, according to this report, wages, as in your income, has not been keeping up with the actual cost of living. So whatever it costs you to pay for your rent or your mortgage, your auto loans, food, shelter, utilities, all the things that we spend money on every single month, essentially incomes and wages have not been keeping up with that for the last 17 months. Therefore, every single month, people are falling further and further and further behind. Well, that's what's leading to this $300 billion record increase in consumer debt just this year alone. Well, as a result of that, we've talked about this many times before in previous videos because I've seen many reports talking about this. The amount of credit card debt in this country is just below $900 billion, rapidly approaching $1 trillion alone just in credit card debt. Now, is this because people are going out buying big screen TVs and buying new clothes and shoes and all kinds of fun stuff all the time? No, that is not the case at all. It's because people are floating balances on credit cards. In fact, over the last couple of years here, we've seen record increases in people opening new credit cards and credit lines as well. Again, is this because we're all wanting to go out and buy a bunch of fun stuff? No, it's because people are looking for money right now, right? People need money. The incomes and the wages, and again, your income, whether it could be low income or fixed income, literally doesn't matter where your income is coming from. Income as a whole is not keeping up with the cost of living and all of these rapidly rising prices with all this inflation. So people are turning toward credit cards. We're floating balances on credit card, opening new credit cards, things like this, taking out new debt products, right? Taking out new loans, things like this. Well, as a result of that, we've racked up a record $300 billion just this year in consumer debt. That is huge. Now, again, I don't know if I said this earlier, but that is a record, by the way. That is the most that we've ever opened up in a single year when it comes down to consumer debt. So that is massive. That is a lot of extra money that we are actually falling behind on right now. So what this is doing as a result of everything going on and the Federal Reserve raising interest rates and all of these other metrics that are happening right now, it's just going to cost us more and more to pay for that, because here's the thing. We've seen that all of this is going on, credit cards, new auto loans. Again, these are just some of the examples of consumer debts, which, by the way, there's a whole big list of different consumer debts. These are just some of the examples that I'm giving you. But as a result of the Federal Reserve raising interest rates aggressively, guess what that means? The interest rate on all of this debt is just being higher and higher. Therefore, it's going to cost us more and more to pay down all of these credit cards, to pay down all of this consumer debt. It's going to cost us more because the interest rate is higher and higher. It's going to take us longer to do it, and yet again, causing people to fall further and further behind. Does anybody see the equation here and a major problem that needs to be fixed? Again, we've talked about this before. All of us see the problem. All of us see an easy solution to this, right? We found before Here's the interesting part. Between early 2020 and early 2021, when the 3 stimulus checks were distributed, the $1,200, the $600, and the $1,400 were distributed, we actually saw record pay downs in credit card balances. Yeah, we saw tons of people paying down debt. We saw people going out and buying the necessities, buying the things that everybody needs, and a lot of people were also taking any excess money or basically just taking the entire stimulus check and paying down credit cards during that time with that money. Again, a smart move because we know that interest, adds up really quickly. The interest payments alone are adding up very rapidly, especially when somebody's paying, 20%, 23%, or something thereabout on interest on a credit card. It adds up very quickly, right? You understand that. It's not a good thing to be, dealing with, right? Well, we understand very clearly that when money is distributed in the form of stimulus checks, again, people go out and buy the necessities, buy the things that everybody needs, food, clothing, shelter, whatever it happens to be. Again, it's different for everybody's situation. But again, then taking that money and maybe paying down some of these debts. So again, does this maybe underline the fact that I don't know, maybe some more money should be distributed? And again, this just shows one more report, one more piece of evidence, one more thing that pops up on our radar that we've talked about so many times over the last year and a half now, that the low income and fixed income need additional money right now. This report is encompassing 90%, or what I should say, the bottom 90% of the population. So excluding the top 10% of income earners and, the wealthy, things like this is just talking about the bottom 90%. So like literally the vast majority of Americans in this country. In fact, this includes about 300 million people, and again, 118 million households in what this is actually encompassing. So that's what all this is showing with this report out of the Federal Reserve. So again, we can see with all these reports here, I've talked about it before, credit card balances rapidly rising. In fact, like I said, almost $900 billion just alone in credit card debt, right? So a lot of different things that are going on right now. All these metrics are really, really messed up. In fact, a lot of these different reports that we continue to see right now are hitting records, right? Record amounts of debt being taken on, record amounts of credit cards, record amount of consumer debts, like what we're talking about in this video. A lot of records being hit right now, and not a lot of good records in a good way. A record debt amount is not a good record to be talking about, right? These are not the records we should be talking about. We should be talking about records of, I don't know, people being lifted out of poverty. Is that being done right now? No. In fact, we talked about another report maybe, what was it? Maybe a month ago, maybe something like that, maybe a month and a half or so ago. I was out in a separate video. Maybe it wasn't quite a month and a half ago. Maybe it was about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that. I talked about a separate report where it's suspected that another million seniors will likely be falling into poverty this year alone. Just like last year, another million seniors fell into poverty. Is that the path we should be going down right now? Is that really the trajectory? And is that really the reputation that the United States wants? Oh, we're the richest country in the world, or we claim to be anyway. And here we are, we're dumping, seniors and older adults and fixed income beneficiaries into poverty. Yeah, we're great about this, right? Is that really something we should be proud of right now? Honestly, that's something we should be ashamed of. That is not a good reputation to have, but that's the way that this is going right now. And unfortunately, with everything going on right now, it's likely going to continue and probably continue to get worse because that's how these things work right now, right? So as we continue to watch many of these economic figures that come out, the economic reports, all the data that's being released right now, we can continue to see that this trend is not reversing anytime soon. This trend continues to move in the direction that it is, and unfortunately, it's going to continue to impact a lot of people unless we get some type of intervention. Intervention being out of Congress, out of the Federal Reserve, out of the administration. Do they finally come together and do something? Which, by the way, I've talked about it many times before. The federal poverty line, as of right now, which again will be updating as of the new year, the federal poverty line as of right now is $13,590 per year, or this year alone, or $1,132 per month. So essentially it comes down to this. If your income is less than $1,132 per month or $13,590 for the course of the entire year, by definition, your income and you would be below the federal poverty line. So here's the problem with that. We've heard this before out of the president. And again, I like to quote this from the president all the time because we need to continue remembering what he said and what his beliefs are. Again, if these are really his beliefs, then why isn't something being done about this? But anyway, the president did say no older adults or people with disabilities should ever need to live in poverty in America. Again, newsflash, hello. I'm not sure if it's just, us that's paying attention to this or if anybody else is watching this as well, but there's a lot of fixed income beneficiaries that are living well below the federal poverty line. One more side note that I want to throw out there about this. Some of these fixed income benefits, SSI for example, if you try to do anything to lift your income up to the federal poverty line or even earn a little bit of money, guess what happens? They garnish your benefit, and if you earn too much, guess what happens? They kick you off the program, and they say, sorry, you're not eligible anymore. You're earning a little bit of money, and then all of a sudden, they garnish and take away your benefits. So these programs are set up really, really weird, right? They disincentivize people to try to do anything to better their situation, even though right now, a lot of people, a lot of you here in the community, I've seen it in the comments section, really, really want to do something, really need some extra income, want something, but again, there's that fear out there that if I do anything, if I get any kind of income coming in, they're going to take away my benefit. Is that really the mindset we should be instilling in people right now? I mean, let's be real for a second. If somebody has a fixed income benefit, and if they want to have some extra income, whether it happens to be, mowing a neighbor's lawn or knitting scarves, or, seriously, I don't know. It could be literally anything. I'm just making up examples here. If somebody wants to do something to make a little bit of extra money to maybe, put a little extra food on the table every single month, should they be penalized for that? As in, oh my gosh, you made 3 scarves this week and you sold them for $10 each. We're going to take away your benefit. Does that make any sense to anybody? Let's be real for a second. I'm a logical thinker. That does not make any sense to me at all. But again, does anything make logical sense when it comes down to some of these programs and what they actually do with them? So again, another scary report that was just released out of the Federal Reserve. I wanted to bring this to your attention because, as I've said before in so many videos, does your local news come out and tell you about this stuff? No, I highly doubt your local news is sitting here telling you that the American people racked up another $300 billion in consumer debt this year, and this encompasses, 90% of the population. I highly doubt your local news is talking about this stuff, which again, was when I do all this research, I come across numerous different reports. Literally, I read hundreds of articles and different things every single day. I'm doing research all day, every single day. As I come across this stuff, seriously, when I come across reports like this, I like to share this stuff with you so that you can see what is actually going on and what's really happening to Main Street America out there. This is what's really happening to the American people. These are the real numbers. This is a report right out of the Federal Reserve. So, is the Federal Reserve going to cook the books? Is the Federal Reserve going to make up these numbers? Probably not, even though some of these numbers out there from some of these economic reports, they're a little bit sketchy, they're a little bit questionable, things like that. But this is a report right out of the Fed. So the Federal Reserve has access to all this information. They know what's going on with the debts of people. They know what's going on with, consumer debts. They know what's going on with people and how much money they're, borrowing, loans that are being taken out. They know all of these statistics. So that's why this report is coming out of the Fed. Anyway, hope this one helps you out. Of course, I want to keep you posted with everything going on, including shocking reports like this one. And like I said earlier, this is shocking, completely shocking information. But at the same time, I'm not surprised one bit because we continue to see what's going on right now, what's happening with the average American right now. We continue to see how much money is not there for the average person right now. And we continue to see what's going on and what the trajectory is pointing to in this country. It's not exactly a good situation. We need intervention of some kind, right? Anyway, I wanted to bring this to you because I thought it was very interesting, and I wanted to point it out to you to let you know what's going on and how all of this is impacting the average person out there right now, especially the low income. Anyway, hope this one helps you out. Please enjoy your day. Until next time, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, please have a nice day. I am here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please remember, I am your one and only daily advocate, always has been and always will be. And I'll continue to maintain my promise, which is to be here for you right by your side every single day, no matter what, bringing you the updates, helping you out in any way that I can. So again, please subscribe down below, share the video, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later.